Hello, everyone. I'll first introduce myself. My name is Wally. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a business broker. My question is related to what do you think about retainers for buyers? I'm sure we all get a lot of inquiries from buyers. Oh, I'm looking for a business to purchase. Can you help me? But what I typically tell them, if I happen to come across a business, I can definitely help you out and send it your way, or I can actively find something for you. And this is something like last week that I've like decided to test the waters on, but just get them on a retainer for 90 days, and then aggressively tackle that, so that at least I'm getting paid to do the searching, as opposed to just wasting time and searching for something that they may not even purchase, or they're looking at another broker and they go a different route. So what do you think about those exclusive retainers for buyers?
First of all, I'd say know your state law, because in
Okay.
California that's illegal. We're not
uh,
allowed to accept retainers.
mhm.
However, there are ways of doing it. So in California, if you wanted to do that, you could set up a search fee, but you would not have a representation agreement with them. So you are getting paid as a consultant specifically to do a search to help them find, or for consulting services to help them find and qualify the business. But if you do that, then if they decide to purchase that business, you cannot represent them at that point,
Mm.
because anything you're doing um, that would, it's a fine line. So according to the Department of Real Estate in California, if you're doing activities that would lead up to licensed activities, because we're in a licensed state, which Georgia is also a licensed state, if you are doing activities that lead to licensed activity, then those activities you cannot bill for
Mm.
upfront. You can't accept any advance fees, retainer fees, or things like that. Where you can accept a fee is, let's say, a business valuation where there's a clear deliverable, right? So,
Mm.
and you have no representation agreement. Once you have a representation agreement signed, then you cannot accept any fees other than a success fee. So that's California law. But Georgia law may be different. In Georgia, maybe you're allowed to have retainers and monthly fees. I don't know, but I would say check with your Georgia Association of Realtors and check with, definitely know your state law,
Could I,
because you don't want to get yourself in trouble there. Yeah, Dick.
so just go to Chat GPT, like I just did, and say, I'm a business broker in whatever state, Washington.
Mhm.
I get an upfront fee for representing a buyer. And it says, yes, you can. And then it tells you what you need to do that and how you can fit it around your whatever you're doing. So just do it in Chat GPT because your state probably won't even know. I don't know who you'd call. This may not be right either. Just take that in
Well,
consideration.
that's a problem. I mean, when you're asking legal questions
Yeah.
and you need to know whether your license is going to be at stake or not, because literally, if you're, if you're accepting fees when you're not supposed to be, then they can revoke your license or suspend it or do something else. So,
It
I would
does
say,
it does say under RCW, which is the Washington codes,
yeah,
18.6, this is and that, and it gives that. And so it's pretty specific. It's not a bland yes.
yeah,
It does give a
okay,
lot of detail. So try that first.
yeah.
And my suggestion is maybe copy and paste that and send it off to the state. And it says I can do this if you want to do it that way. And I'm going to do this unless I hear back.
Thank you.
Yeah, ChatGPT is your friend. It's a great assistant.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I started using that for the past 6 months now, and it's awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've developed some great things. I'll tell you what.
Very cool.
So I guess hypothetically, if it was legal,
Yeah.
that's something that you would like support personally for your business or like recommend for others, like hypothetically, if it was legal.
You know, I hypothetically, I would maybe try it and see how it works. See if it works for you. If you are able to find businesses for them that the one thing you have to do, Wally, on that is you really need to make sure that the buyer has a good idea of what they're looking for. Because I can tell you, the only time I will represent buyers now is if it's a company looking to expand through acquisition, because they can tell me what they want. They want either product lines to expand horizontally, or they want, more customer base, so they're expanding vertically, but they can identify exactly what it is they're looking for. Most buyers, they come to you, oh yeah, yeah, I want to buy a business. Okay, well, what do you want? Well, it needs to be profitable. Okay, what's your skill set? What do you care what industry it's in? No, I don't care as long as it's making money. Like, and then, I mean, that's a wild goose chase, because now you're out there looking for businesses and you're sending them one business after the next, and they're telling you, nah, I don't like that one. Okay, well, what don't you like about it? It makes money. You said that was your criteria. So you just have to be, you have to be careful that you don't end up on a wild goose chase, because you can end up on the hamster on the wheel, just going round and round and not getting anywhere.
Hello,